This is the Tesla Model X. It is an incredibly cool vehicle. Check out the Falcon Wing doors. You can control it from inside the car. What an incredible thing. It's almost like a spaceship, really. I love it. And now we're going to close them remotely. Very cool. Hi, and welcome to CarNichiWa.com. Today we are in a Tesla Model X. And instead of just the usual regular test that we do, we actually have the Tesla owner. This is Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, yeah.
And I've known Jeff for a very long time, and I remember when Jeff ordered this car and he was all excited. So I thought we would get together here on a weekend and just chat about the buying experience and the ownership experience and what it's like to live with a totally cool Tesla Model X. So I just wondered why, what was your thought process? Why did you pick this car? Because it's a totally new type of vehicle and you don't have a gas engine, etc.
Well, I've always owned SUV format vehicles. I like the practicality and the flexibility of folding seats and cargo area, that type of thing. So I always knew that my next car, no matter what it was going to be some type of format like this. And though I was impressed with Tesla and the whole idea, the whole kind of concept, I didn't want a Model S. I didn't want a sedan. So I was willing to wait for this. So I put down the deposit pretty much 2 years before I got the car.
Wow.
The Model S got such tremendous response, in reviews and whatnot, that I had a great deal of confidence. And I expected to get it in the spring of 2016. And that became clear that that wasn't going to happen. So when they actually did get a chance to tell me what the delivery was going to be, they said it would be the end of 2016. And I was disappointed. And while I was talking to a guy on the phone, he said, look, I'm not trying to sell you anything, but since they are building most complex to least complex, if you chose any upgrades, you would get, your vehicle sooner. And I had decided I wanted to change the seating configuration. I had originally gone super simple with just a 5-seat order, and that was a mistake. I already knew it was a mistake, and I was wanting to change that. So he said, well, if you want to do the 6-seat configuration, then you would probably get yours delivered in August instead of at the end of the year, say December. So I said, that sounds great. Now it cost, a little bit to get the additional features, but I'm really glad I did. At the delivery was handled so well.
Really?
So I deal with cars all the time. So as she was going over these very, kind of different systems compared to a traditional automobile, I started feeling anxious. So I stopped her briefly and I said, geez, I'll bet people get overwhelmed during these deliveries. And she said, yeah, it happens all the time. I said, what do you do when that happens? She said, I just cut it down to the basics, and I tell them, hey, when you have questions, give us a call. We'll go over anything you want to, that type of thing. But it really is enough different from a traditional automobile that it's a little disorienting, not in an unhappy way. It's a kind of an adventure.
So, Jeff, you've owned the Model X now for a while, and I'm just curious, what's it like in a day-to-day experience?
Mostly, it's almost entirely fantastic. There's almost nothing on the road that's as fast as this. And it gives you kind of a goosebumpy feeling, because it doesn't matter what may be driving around you, you know that if you just step into the throttle, you could just leave them in the dust, literally. And every once in a while, when I'm having a little bit of fun on an entrance ramp on the freeway, that type of stuff, I'll really lean into the throttle, and you can scare the crap out of yourself in this
Wow.
car. And because electric motors have instant maximum torque, you don't have to ramp up to maximum power. You have it immediately, and there's no gears, so you don't have any shift points where you lose a little momentum, that type of stuff. So if you step into it, you go continuous, smooth, squish you back in your seat.
It distorts
Power.
your face like
Yeah.
G-forces.
I'm not a big roller coaster person, and when I really lean into it, it makes my nerves tingle.
Oh my gosh.
In a kind of scary way.
Wow.
So it's amazing, the smoothness of it, the quietness of it, as you can hear right now. Well, the thing that you really become aware of is this is much more like a laptop with four wheels than it is like a tractor type of mechanism. I just had a software update last night. It's the third major update I've had, and I've had the car only about 3 months now.
Do you have to go to the service place for that?
Not at all. I have a constant GPS connection. I can pull up the internet right here on the display.
Wow.
So anytime they want to offer you an update, you'll see a notification on the display, and it'll ask you when you want to do it, just like it would be if it was your computer. And next thing you know, the display's changed, even some of the operation of the vehicle.
You mentioned that you can actually drive the vehicle without having to use the brake pedal. And do you like doing that?
I love that. They have a number of settings that would allow you to make the car behave like a traditional gasoline-powered automobile. But I wanted to maximize things like regenerative braking and get as much out of the battery pack as I could. So I've chosen what they call the standard setting of regenerative. And the way they've engineered this car, and they do it in different ways with different hybrids and that type of thing, but on this one, you have a direct conversion to regeneration as soon as you lift out of the throttle at all. As soon as you're not asking for power, it goes immediately into regenerating power, and that creates a drag. The more dramatically you do that, the quicker you do it, the more dramatically strong that braking force is. So if I lift out very abruptly, it'll snap your head forward.
Wow.
So one of the things you have to learn and practice with the Tesla is just how to use your throttle to handle both speeding up and slowing down. And because it gives you so much slowing power, I almost never use the regular friction brakes. I'd say I use them about 10% of the time I used to with any traditional gasoline car.
Thank you for joining us today with Jeff and his Tesla Model X. Be sure to see our full review on CarNichiWa.com. And after owning the Tesla Model X for about 3 months, Jeff, what would you say?
It's definitely a full thumbs up.
Cool. Thanks again, and we will see you next time. Bye now.